Have you ever felt like the universe is whispering something to you that you can't quite hear yet? Like there's this quiet knowing sitting in your chest, this gentle pull towards something you can't name, but somehow you know it's important. You're not imagining it. That feeling, that subtle shift happening inside you right now, it's real. And if you're watching this, if something drew you here in this exact moment, then you're already picking up on the frequency that most people spend their entire lives trying to tune into. Let's talk about what's really happening beneath the surface of your awareness right now, because something is shifting, not just in your external world, but in the very fabric of who you're becoming. And the beautiful thing about transformation is that it doesn't announce itself with fireworks. It starts as a whisper, a gentle nudge, a feeling that you can't shake that says there's more waiting for you. You see, most people think change has to be loud, dramatic, earth-shattering. They're waiting for some big moment, some clear sign that tells them exactly what to do next. But real transformation, the kind that actually changes your life, it's quieter than that. It's subtle. It shows up in the way you pause before responding to something that used to trigger you immediately. It's in the way certain conversations suddenly feel too shallow, too surface level. It's in the way you find yourself craving solitude, not because you're running from anything, but because you're finally ready to listen to what's been trying to reach you. And here's what I want you to understand. That restless energy you've been feeling, that sense that you're outgrowing something, but you're not sure what, that's not anxiety. That's not you being impatient or ungrateful. That's your soul preparing you for an upgrade. Your intuition is getting stronger, sharper, more insistent because you're approaching a threshold. A moment where everything you've been becoming is about to click into place. Think about it this way. Have you noticed how your tolerance for certain things has changed recently? Maybe you can't sit through mindless entertainment the way you used to. Maybe small talk feels more draining than it ever has before. Maybe you're finding yourself drawn to deeper conversations, more meaningful connections, experiences that actually feed your spirit instead of just passing time. That's not you becoming antisocial or difficult. That's you evolving. Your frequency is changing, and naturally you're going to resonate with different things. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people resist this shift because it feels uncomfortable. They try to force themselves back into spaces that no longer fit, relationships that no longer serve, routines that no longer align with who they're becoming. They think something's wrong with them for wanting more, for needing different, for feeling like they're meant for something bigger. But nothing's wrong with you. You're just waking up. And when I say waking up, I don't mean in some mystical, out there way. I mean you're becoming aware of your own patterns, your own worth, your own power to choose differently. You're starting to see through the stories you've been telling yourself about what's possible, what you deserve, what you're capable of. And that awareness, it's preparing you for something beautiful. See, the universe has this way of preparing us for our next level long before we consciously understand what that level is. It starts by making us uncomfortable with where we are. It creates this gentle but persistent dissatisfaction with anything that's keeping us small. It amplifies our intuition so we can start trusting our inner guidance instead of constantly seeking validation from outside sources. You've been in training, even if you didn't realize it. Every challenge you faced, every time you chose growth over comfort, every moment you trusted your gut, even when it didn't make logical sense, you've been building the strength and wisdom you'll need for what's coming. And what's coming isn't just opportunity, it's alignment. It's the chance to step into a version of your life that actually matches who you've become on the inside. But to receive what's meant for you, you have to be willing to release what's no longer meant for you. And I know that sounds scary, but it's also incredibly freeing, because holding on to things that don't fit anymore, whether it's mindsets, relationships, or ways of being, it takes so much energy that could be flowing toward what's actually meant to be part of your story. The truth is, you've been changing for a while now, quietly, steadily, authentically, And now you're reaching a point where that internal transformation is ready to express itself in your external reality. The pieces are falling into place. The clarity you've been seeking is crystallizing. The path you've been searching for is revealing itself step by step. Your intuition has been your compass through this whole process, and it's about to become your greatest asset. Because what's coming next in your journey, it's not something you can think your way into. It's something you have to feel your way into. Something you have to trust your way into. And this is where most people get stuck. They feel the pull, they sense the shift, but they second guess themselves because it doesn't look like what they expected transformation to look like. They're waiting for some grand revelation, some lightning bolt moment that makes everything crystal clear. But clarity doesn't always come as a flash of lightning. Sometimes it comes as a steady sunrise, slowly illuminating what was always there, but hidden in the shadows. You see, the mind wants guarantees. It wants a detailed roadmap with every step clearly marked. But the soul operates differently. It works through feelings, through knowings, through subtle synchronicities that whisper rather than shout. And right now, if you're really paying attention, you can feel it. That quiet confidence building beneath any surface confusion. That sense that even though you can't see the whole picture yet, you're exactly where you need to be. Here's what's fascinating about this phase of transformation. You start noticing things you never noticed before. Patterns become visible. Connections start making sense. People say things that hit differently than they would have 6 months ago. You find yourself having conversations that feel like they were scripted by the universe itself, perfectly timed to give you exactly the insight you needed. And it's not just conversations, it's everything. The book that falls off the shelf and opens to exactly the page you needed to read. The song that comes on the radio with lyrics that speak directly to your situation. The stranger who makes an offhand comment that suddenly makes everything click into place. These aren't coincidences. This is your expanded awareness, picking up on the guidance that's always been there. But here's the thing that trips people up. They think they have to understand everything before they can move forward. They want to analyze every feeling, dissect every intuitive hit, make logical sense of every synchronicity. And while there's nothing wrong with wanting to understand, sometimes understanding comes through experience, not before it. Your soul is asking you to trust the process, even when your mind is demanding explanations. It's asking you to follow the breadcrumbs, even when you can't see where the path leads. It's asking you to say yes to opportunities that feel right in your body, even if they don't make perfect sense on paper. And this is where courage comes in. Not the loud, dramatic kind of courage that makes for good movies. The quiet, steady courage that chooses faith over fear, expansion over safety, growth over comfort. The courage that says, I don't know exactly what's coming, but I trust that I'm being guided towards something beautiful. Because what's happening in your life right now, it's not random. Your desires aren't random. Your dissatisfaction with certain things isn't random. Your growing need for authenticity, for meaning, for connections that actually matter, that's not random either. It's all part of a larger orchestration, a divine timing that's preparing you for the next chapter of your story. And the beautiful part is, you don't have to force any of it. You don't have to push, or struggle, or make things happen through sheer willpower. You just have to stay open, stay aware, stay willing to receive what's trying to reach you, because the universe has been conspiring on your behalf this whole time, arranging circumstances, connecting dots, clearing paths you didn't even know needed to be cleared. Your job isn't to figure it all out. Your job is to remain receptive to the guidance that's flowing toward you, to trust the stirrings in your heart, to honor the quiet voice that's been getting louder lately, the one that knows things your logical mind hasn't caught up to yet. And I know it can feel vulnerable to operate this way, to make decisions based on feeling rather than just facts, to trust something you can't prove to someone else. But this is how magic happens. This is how miracles unfold. This is how people end up living lives that are so aligned, so fulfilling, so purposeful, that others wonder how they got so lucky. It wasn't luck, it was trust. It was the willingness to listen to what their soul was telling them and act on it, even when it felt uncertain, even when it meant stepping away from what everyone else thought they should be doing, even when it meant disappointing people who were invested in keeping them the same. Right now, as you're listening to this, something inside you is recognizing truth. Something is saying, yes, this is what I've been feeling. This is what I've been sensing. This is why I've been so restless, so ready for something different. And that recognition, that resonance, it's your confirmation that you're on the right track. You're not lost. You're not behind. You're not missing something everyone else has figured out. You're exactly where you need to be, feeling exactly what you need to feel, receiving exactly the preparation you need for what's about to unfold in your life. Your life. So if you made it this far, if something in this message stirred something awake in you, then you already know what I know. You're not the same person who started watching this video. Something has shifted, even in these few minutes. That quiet knowing in your chest, it's gotten a little louder, hasn't it? That sense of being on the edge of something beautiful, it feels more real now. Here's what I need you to understand as you go forward. Every time you honor that inner voice, every time you choose trust over fear, every time you follow that gentle pull towards something that feels right, even when you can't explain why, you're saying yes to the life that's been waiting for you. You're stepping into alignment with who you've always been, beneath all the noise, all the doubt, all the stories that told you to play it safe. The transformation you've been sensing isn't coming. It's here. It's happening right now, in this moment, as you recognize that you're ready for whatever's next. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You don't need all the answers to start moving in the direction your soul is pointing you. Trust what you're feeling. Trust what you know. Trust that you were meant to hear this message at exactly this moment, because you're exactly where you need to be to receive what's coming. And what's coming is everything you've been quietly hoping for, everything you've been growing toward, everything your heart has been whispering is possible. The universe has been preparing you for this. Now it's time to let yourself receive it.